it would be settled into the basement. Because it would come, the way it came out of the south so hard. 4-year-old building, it's cracks everywhere, man.
I come through there one day, home and picked my wife up and we were headed somewhere and she goes, man, it smells like marijuana in here. I said, well, I'm gonna get started for speeding.
But you'd be still like you're a marijuana every day.
Yeah, I can't see you.
There.
But Joe, they said, we should open up the snack shack.
Let me
Then
examine.
we make some money.
Should I try to ask you all the questions I can think of in 3 minutes?
Absolutely. That's a lot.
No, it's all.
My biggest thing is the, and I'm trying to get hold of MMT and you put it on the question thing, the listserv. When I talked to
It's like
the,
somebody didn't know.
he said normally you take the proceeds from interest earned and you divide it in ratios. But, you know, that money would come from. But then other places have designated it, like one indicator used it for $50,000 with BSNA.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a legal question. I don't think you're not sure of the statute that's gonna answer that.
Oh, sorry, we don't have to.
I'm not saying, I mean, you may have auditing.
You almost said, that's enough, that's enough.
It may not be, it may be an auditing and accounting principle, but not a.
He just says generally.
Yeah.
So it's probably whatever our investment policy says.
Yes.
We'll add to it. We'll do an addendum to it, because I don't think we have anything about the interest. That's where I'm getting stuck.
Yeah,
And Becca's gotta add
because we weren't investing for a while.
so
It's interesting.
we should decide what we,
Because you'd be so many feet away from us.
Do we know if
Place of
we
worship.
have
He's got this huge field.
a resolution
All
to
that's all-
waive the
all
property
for this
transfer
month.
affidavit that
But
Dave
it's
Gilman was
exactly
asking about?
X amount of feet away from,
She had it in
from our
an
property.
email.
well,
Our assessor,
okay, that's leave it, do business, I mean, whatever, man.
It's right.
I don't remember seeing anything on that.
Yeah, you know, she had a question for you guys, and I wrote it down
He's alive.
in case.
Older levels. I just want you to know, the stupid level is up today.
Yeah. I'll get with her.
Wind chill.
7 o'clock.
I hear you, baby. Look at my students today, like, something's wrong with you, I don't know, what's wrong with you? They're looking at the blank stare, like, that's my point.
What are you talking about? That's exactly what I mean.
What?
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We're gonna call the meeting to order at 7 PM. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberties and justice for all. Roll call, Gary.
Here.
Mary.
Here.
Ken's here. Jason, absent. Carl, Kara, absent. Do we need someone to, take notes for the meeting on recording the votes?
I'll try to.
Right to, and then we got
She's
the
also got
owl as a
recording.
backup.
Yeah.
Agenda. As we go through the agenda tonight, there are some things that we probably need, all our board members available. So as we come upon them, we need to make a decision to postpone them. And we could briefly talk about it and then postpone. So. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Any changes, Gary?
My only comment was, I sent you an email around it. and These things that you have listed under supervisor, under G 12 and 13. my opinion should be in your report, not on the agenda. The agenda is an outline to follow. It's not a summary of what's going on, but, that's my opinion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Take a second.
So moved.
That was Mary and Gary. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Public comments. I did receive emails today from, Brian Perez, Jim McQueen, Jeff Sobel, we'll see in the, it's a copy of his is in there. These other ones I received later today, and then I received something from North Lake Association. The first three were, short-term rentals, and they were explaining the benefits to the township with that. I am going to move those into a meeting when we have a full board, and they will be available in the, actual, agenda package. North Lake Association, said that they're, against it, and I'll include that in at the next meeting when we have full board and put that, also in there. And any other ones that we might get from there. So is there any other public comment? Karen?
Yep. Some of mine has to do with short-term rental too, though, but the moratorium, I don't know if you're gonna vote on that tonight or not.
I think that will be postponed.
Even the moratorium one?
Yeah, I think Laura,
You need, to pass an ordinance, you need a majority of those elected and serving to vote for it. So if you only have three, it'd have to be unanimous to pass, so you could, or you could wait till you have more of your board present.
is Mary gonna have a conflict of interest on a moratorium?
Oh, I forgot about that. It's, yeah, probably, so then you wouldn't even be able to get for free, yeah. Yeah.
We'll be
Forgot about
postponing that.
I know,
I'm like a wallflower, everyone forgets me.
don't forget about you.
So I'm gonna skip that part of my statement. I do have a couple updates for the newsletter when we get to that point that maybe make more sense when you're actually at that item. And I did see that it's in the packet, purchase order to McQueen for $730. But there was a bigger invoice that's actually in payables to McQueen for $4,600. And maybe you guys got a purchase order on that too, but it wasn't part of the packet. I don't know if it was missed, or do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. And I'm starting to like these new payroll reports. They're a little different. They actually have, I think, a little more information. But I didn't notice until today. It looks like the secretary, cleaning person wages both went at some point from 16 to 17, but I don't remember ever. Is that recent, or is that a long?
Well, that was last year.
Okay,
It was in the wage schedule for last budget.
It was the last
I
budget.
think there was a range, and that's why I didn't know.
Oh,
And these
It's from that
reports are
sort.
actually putting hourly rate on it. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else is probably gonna wait till you guys take up the matter.
any other public comment?
I think there's a couple people here that want to talk about the blight chart,
Yeah.
is that correct? This is
Yeah.
a good time to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the update on, Scott, right here, or his name, I think I saw you out there Friday. My neighbor, on, 50th.
50th,
Yeah, he's been served his 10-day notice.
Yeah. so there should be a citation coming here pretty quick.
If we're not seeing it cleaned up, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Believe it was I want to say it was the 16th or the 17th that was out there.
Okay.
Gave him his 10-day notice, so I'll be checking back in with them if I'm seeing some progress. My intention with him is to give him some of the, township dump tickets, to haul some of that stuff out of there. It's up to him whether or not he uses them. And then from there, if I'm not seeing consistent cleanup, consistent improvement on the property, citation will be involved.
What about all the abandoned cars in the back?
Not aware of the abandoned cars that he's got out in the back of the lot there, but when I go out to the property on my next check-in with him after the 10 days is up. You've taken several photos of the entire property to attach to my report.
So, I mean, they gave him what, he gave the whole month of September to clean it up, and they didn't really do anything.
That's not exactly correct. I was out there twice and he has cleaned up some.
Yeah.
It could be better, could be better.
Absolutely, and I agree on that. It could absolutely be better. I've seen. What seems to me to be the minimal effort for him to clean up.
It's been like that for a while, not as mad at me, because I'm the one putting all the ruckus, but. Just okay to be a slob. Is that what you said, wrong? I don't.
He's also added I mean, I go down that road all the time too.
Well, yeah, we got.
But he's added more
got 5
trailers.
4 containers there now.
Correct.
Are those allowable?
Those are in the process of being looked at our zoning administrator and also our assessor at the point. So don't have a definite for that right now. I know that when I've been out there, I had to stop in at his business twice to talk to him because he's never home, so. It's in the process. Sometimes it takes a little time and I know, you'd like it done quicker than you'd like it to be done, but, your patience is appreciated and we're working on it.
There's other township residents that we're also trying to address.
Well, I agree with
It's
that.
not our own.
No, I agree, but this has been a 3-4 month process, so. I don't see any moving forward. I mean, are you guys thinking, I live there, so I see it every day.
I'm just glad it
I
hasn't,
think he's moving it around is all he's doing.
I'm just glad it hasn't turned into a 3-year process like we just finished with a court date on, so. Once you get into litigation,
So what happens now when you find him 10 days? Cause he's not gonna have that cleaned up in 3 or 4 more days.
Our expectation is that he has everything cleared out of there, cleared up in 10 days. But if he's making consistent, good progress, that shows he's working to get the property cleaned and updated. We won't go with citing him. We'll give him a little bit more time. What we find is an ample amount of time for them to get the property.
So judging by what you see now, if he left it there today, what it is. Right now.
If it doesn't change in a week, what's gonna happen is he's probably just gonna receive a citation. And
What's
then
that? What's the citation?
if there's.
it's a violation of the ordinance. That's it. He's
got a fine?
Incur
Correct.
fines and
Correct.
have a court date to
Correct.
talk with the township attorney about all that.
And then after that, what happens? Is it every 10 days then, or is it? You gotta wait till he goes to court and he gets another 3 months?
That's up to, if it goes to litigation, that's up to the court.
Yeah, it's up to whatever the judge tells us. If the judge gives him 60 days to get that property cleaned up and that day 61, he's not made any progress. The process starts over and gets another citation, goes back into the court and just drags out.
If it goes to litigation, the court, as the deputy said, typically the judge will give them at least another 30 to 60 days. If it's not done, then depending on what the judge's statement says, or the judgment, then we have the opportunity to go in and clean up the township. Whatever cost would be put on a lien on his property.
And then what happens with, like, you find out these dumpsters these containers aren't supposed to be there?
But
We'll find out
that's something
when
we're gonna have to
when
address
that's
when
made.
we figure out what the facts are with the containers.
When will that be?
What'll happen? I
No,
can't,
when will that be?
I have no idea. That's up to the zoning administrator and the and assessor.
Is that Tasha?
Tasha, yeah.
We
If I
have a
could tell
blight
you more, I
ordinance,
would.
right, that says
What's
this,
that?
We have a blight ordinance.
If I could tell you more, I would,
is it every 10
but
days?
I can't tell you
I
something
thought
that
they were supposed to be
isn't,
cited every 10 days.
been
Until it's done.
ruled on yet.
Mary, that'll vary from one township to the next as to whether or not they get cited every 10 days. Or
I thought that's what we decided on, that it was gonna be every 10 days, because it's so expensive to go into court.
But every 10 days comes with a court date. Every 10-day citation comes with another appearance in court, which is something that the township has to pay the attorney to go and appear on. So that's why sometimes like having to write the citation as often as every 10 days. So the township's not fronting all that money to the attorney to end up in court essentially every 2 weeks with the same mission. So eventually, like, essentially what it'll get to is what Gary said is the township's gonna have to plead to the judge to get some type of order to go in and clean it up. And then just put a lien on the property.
And that's with every township. If they do a 10-day fine, they have to go to court.
To my understanding, yes.
Okay.
There's a sheriff's letter in that regard.
What is he saying to you when you go there? He's gonna work on it or?
Yeah, every time I've talked to him, he's saying he's trying to shuffle things through. What he can get rid of, what he can take over to his business in Gobles, cause he's got a thrift store over there. He's trying to shuffle things around where he can get this all taken care of.
Just not fast enough. It's been 2 years now. Since he started the garage sale.
Lori?
Just wondering what's happening with James Peach and the folks there. He seems to have gotten his 2 lots cleaned up, but he still has a bunch of stuff on the guts. So I would.
That's what I was saying.
Again, that's in process, but
Same. Every year,
And
Lauren, could I get your last name?
West Street.
50889. So it was a 9-2 email from you to me to update the blight list and pick, so. Is there any update at all since 9-2 on that one? Because Lori's been asking about it and they've been complaining about it since April. It's just taken us a little while to get it on our list and.
well, I drove by there last week and like you said, part of it's cleaned up. But he still has a little bit to go. I know a tree fell on his house and he was trying to get that off. So there's other circumstances, but, again, if you tie things up in litigation, it takes longer. It's a waste of township money and then you tie the people's hands a little bit more.
Yeah, we've met as a group and we've talked a lot about how the people that are in these situations probably have some mental health issues. Kind of know that going into it. Nobody's here to rip them. And I think that's kind and that's appropriate. I'm just, part of the reason we have this sheet is to help move things along. So it's October 20th and these folks wrote us an email on September 2nd, and I was just looking for some kind of update. And just so you know, there's 3 other complaints in the same group with Mr. Keach that they've been trying to get processed since April. So we drafted up some new complaints and they're on Ruth's chair. So she's gonna be asking you and Tasha to look at them and help us understand, is it real or not? That
Okay.
process we've agreed to.
Because of the equipment and the automobiles and the trucks and the campers that are there, that's a zoning issue as well.
Okay,
So that has been turned over to Tasha.
okay,
I know she sent letters out. She has a process. Typically, it takes at least 60 days for any type of citation issued.
I'm just looking for updates to my
Yeah,
sheet. You
okay.
guys are supposed to remember to send me updates as you make, as you serve notices, then I can update. So then everybody's on the same page as to how these things are moving along. But it's not supposed to be a difficult thing. It's supposed to help us track these things. That's all. So if there's stuff that you need to send me, please send it.
So, yeah, every time I visit the property, then I'll make sure I get that put in an email out to you guys.
Thank you.
Right.
Perfect, thank you.
Bertha. Yeah.
Dan?
I'd like to ask, like Dan Williams, I'd like to ask a question on one of the complaints that we filed. It's about an RV sitting on a piece of vacant land. Supposedly was sold 2 weeks ago. I've spoken with Gary. Gary put a notice on the RV last week. But, people apparently that bought the RV, gentleman has now brought an email up with them and now they're squatting and living in the RV there. And they're right now currently still there. About all they do is stay inside of it and go outside like fighters. And I'd like to know how long something like that takes. Because
Well,
it's squatting now.
I called the property owner, Mike Green. He's supposed to meet me here after the meeting, or he said he'd be here at the meeting tonight to talk to me about it, but nobody's supposed to be out there. The person that owned owned the RV apparently sold it to somebody else. But the owner of the property said that RV's gotta go. Nobody's supposed to be out there, and we were gonna talk in depth about it tonight. I don't see him here. But that's okay. I'll take care of it.
Won't see him tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
all I can tell you is what he said.
We have the same issue on the other side of me, somebody living in a vacant RV there,
Where?
on the other side of my property. On 384, around the corner from me, which butts up to me.
You're not talking about 11116, are you? Across the street, the west
No.
side?
Just
Cause that camper's gone.
my barn's here, there's 50th,
They're talking
right
about
around the
the
corner.
49.
Yeah, you guys were there the other Friday night.
Yeah, that's,
There's no water there, there's no electric, there's no nothing, there's people living.
yep, I've been out there for a different investigation. I heard that he likely will not be there.
Is that
Within
the
the
one we
next 30
talked
days.
about?
Huh?
Is that the one you called me about and we talked about?
No, that was,
Okay,
that one was down on 380,
okay.
but yeah, he likely will not be there, 30 days.
Because I don't know how they're living there now.
But I've talked with the person who owns the property, they have given him permission to stay there. They have a signed agreement, landlord-tenant contract between them. Which they're currently trying to sever that contract, through the eviction process, so. And that in itself takes time, so,
I've tried to get a hold of the owner and trying to purchase the renters.
yeah,
Can't get a hold of them.
they live over in Bloomingdale. So,
One more question. I think we have 3 properties on this list that refer to the person that handles dangerous buildings. I haven't met that person, but those are over a month due now, where my understanding is that these 3 properties, someone was specifically set up to go out and look at them on 9/15, and maybe the work got done, but I have no update. Can you help me?
Are those the ones that you have on here, the inspection was scheduled?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
since,
Is that Tasha too?
yes,
It's her office.
that's through her office, and then the gentleman is out of Kalamazoo that is the actual building inspector for dangerous buildings.
But he would get back to Tasha once he's done
Correct.
the inspection, so she
Correct.
wouldn't have any report.
Correct.
Don't forget, part of this is, do we have the right process? We wanted to give it a few months, see, is it working? Is it going as quickly as we want it to, do we need more resources? So,
It never runs as quickly as I would like it to happen. But you have to understand that when you start a process, and probably Laura can even weigh in on this, you don't have to. But once the process starts, if you don't cross all your Ts, dot all your Is, if it goes to litigation, it gets thrown out and you gotta start all over again. So we have to make sure our Ts are crossed and our Is are dotted, and sometimes that takes time. And you might not like it, but that's the process. That's all I can say.
Any other public comment? Just helping you. I'm just,
same thing.
I'm just helping you.
Okay, moving on. In our consent agenda, the October 18th, 2025 meeting that we had last Saturday will be reviewed at the next township board meeting. So do we have any questions on account payable expenses? Gary, Mary?
No, I looked them over, we're spending a lot of money in a couple places that I think we can probably cut back on, but that's, for another meeting, another talk.
Payroll expenses, any comments?
All looks good.
Gary?
Fine.
Bank account balances, any comments?
No,
Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, as presented?
so move,
I'll second it.
This is a money roll call, Gary,
yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Ken's yes. Information reports, Jason? Excuse me, sir.
Jason.
JC,
The birds are, I've given you, we are at, let's see, 8 fire calls for last month and 35 EMS calls for last month. Things are going along, the same problems are the same problems, and we'll just keep. I mean, I don't, what else you need from me? I mean, it's the same old song. So, I mean, we've got trucks that are down there because of their age, and we've had some repairs on, both of our grass units because of age and, use. It is what it is. Yeah. I would like to thank the public for coming out for, it was last Tuesday, it was a great open house. We had, our, the bounce houses that, I dug out of the trash, are doing well. So I grabbed those out of a dumpster, before they went to the dumpster. We power washed those up, we've been using those for training and for fun things, for the last couple of years. So those are, just so you know, those are $0 for us to, have. We've got some cleaning to do, but beyond that, we're just, trying to keep it together. Baling wire and Band-Aids and spit and glue.
No
We'll do.
no duct tape?
No, duct tape's too expensive. I gotta buy my coffee.
That's right.
Question. I
By the way, on that, coffee's not gonna be an issue anymore. I found a resident in this township that has volunteered to buy coffee for life for the fire department, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, that's great.
Yep. So we don't have to worry about that. I'm sorry, Gary, you had a question.
it'll wait, thanks.
There was a mention a minute ago about McQueen, the one that was for almost 5,000 was before we started the process of having those POs. It just hasn't been paid for that long. And the other one does have a PO attached to it, so you should have seen that come through already. Kara and Mary should have seen that, so.
Deputy Sheriff?
Alright, so, our township report for complaints handled within Columbia Township last month was 86 overall, 14 of those being outside agency, outside of the sheriff's office, so you can do the math there. Majority of those being abandoned vehicles that were handled with Harbor Towing, who resides in our township. Any vehicles that they removed from the roadway that are not claimed by the owner or, paid for, get cycled into our system as abandoned. They file paperwork on it to make themselves a new owner, and that way they can scrap the vehicle and try and recoup some of their money. But yeah, the majority of those 14 complaints that were handled outside of our sheriff's office were by Michigan State Police, so they have been a wonderful help up here in the area. Helping us shag some of those calls when we are not available.
I had a question on the 15 abandoned vehicles, if some of that was some of this blight or zoning.
Some of them are due to private property removal, where the tow company will get called out to a residence to remove a vehicle, trailer, RV.
Okay, so some of that
Those are
could,
private property calls, they pull those, and then no one comes to claim it.
right,
Once the
right.
vehicle's entered in as abandoned. the paperwork gets sent out by Secretary of State to the previous registered owner. At that point, they have 20 days to go claim their vehicle, pay for it, pay the bill, and get their vehicle or their RV, whatever it is, back. If they choose not to do so after the 20 days is up, the tow company has the option to file paperwork to get a
Abandoned
title
vehicle.
from the Secretary of State to become the new owner of that vehicle, so they can do what they see fit with it.
So some of these could have been from.
I know of at least two that were private property removals from within the township. There may have been more,
Okay.
but I know of two.
County Commissioner?
Have a highlight for September, for it, and basically, we're working on a master plan, just what we are thinking of doing. We're not, we don't have any money yet, but we. So, that's one of the big things, and broadband is still, you guys don't have a problem, but I have a couple townships that Mercury Broadband got Geneva and Lawrence, and they defaulted on Lawrence. So it had to go out to a round of money came available in Washington, so they got another bid, but it may be a long time for they get it. But Mercury still claims they're gonna do Geneva, but they haven't done a single thing there yet, so consider yourself lucky, I guess, that you know, we've got as far as we did with you guys. Other than that, we were in Traverse City for commissioner meetings, and the big thing there, all the state people that were there was revenue sharing, how that's being cut and cut and cut, not only for, you know, you guys, but for us and the villages and the cities, and so it's gonna get tougher and tougher to, you know, come up with more funds, so. Questions, concerns?
On the revenue sharing cuts, do you know percentage approximately?
It's all different for different, yeah, like they cut,
Because it's based on the township from the county
well,
or from the state.
through the state. They cut veterans, for instance. They promised money already, and so the guys went out and they, you know, did what they had to do with the promised funds. So then they get a notice that, oh, guess what? You're not getting that money. So it's like, so how do you?
So it depends on.
Right, yeah, that's upon what it is, so, yeah.
Gary, we're losing $7,000. I did send you an update of the spreadsheet and I put the new number in there and I got that right off the revenue sharing from that's filed in the state that,
Right.
yeah.
Kurt, I have a question.
Yes.
So, as you know, their treasury department is now not using Citrix after this year. And we're all incurring quite an expense, $10,000 to start and then $6,000 a year.
Why did that happen?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
and then they said they're gonna
People
give
ask.
us more, yeah, I'd like to
Oh.
know why it happened and why it's so expensive. And isn't there some revenue from that could use to help with the
We used to do
townships?
that. That's where the money came from, the tax sales.
Okay,
When we no longer get money from the tax sales.
so they're,
Yeah.
okay,
That's where all those funds came from to take care of all that. So, since we've had to, you know, act as real estate agents now for people and so we don't see those funds. That's a big, big
so
deal.
that's why they're cutting the Citrix?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot more work for the,
Well, I understand,
Township
yeah,
treasurer.
I'm hearing that from everybody, the things that have to be, you know. So,
it is what it is, huh?
in the lottery, I'll help. Yeah, so. Anything else? Thank you.
What I questioned her, she did have a good point. We do collect 1% admin fee and that should help the townships pay for that, but we've used that for other things, so.
Yeah, there you
Here we go,
Yeah.
huh?
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Road Commission?
Road Commission has, County Road 388 from Bloomdale to Gobles is resurfaced and done. So, of course, we did, from Grand Junction to Bloomdale a couple years ago. Worked over in Pine Grove the last 2 years. So from South Haven to the county line, 388 is a very nice road.
Great.
All the way. We worked in South Haven 4 or 5 years ago, Geneva Township. So on, so, and then. Of course, you get into Kalamazoo County, D Avenue turns into Sprinkle, you're all the way to Ring Stadium at 100 mile an hour. So that's nice all the way across the county. We got the guys are grading roads and prepping the trucks for winter operations. We're done seal coating, we've seal coated, so 168 miles this year. We got it all done by the end of September, so that went very well. Smooth. We have a County Road Association, CRA. We were at we had Van Buren County hosted a meeting with the Southwest Commission, which has about Kent County to the state line and over to St. Joe County are all members of the Southwest Commission. CRA was there, and we had quite a discussion on seal coating, how every county does it, and fog seal. I don't think any two counties are the same. Some don't do any fog sealing, some do it in a couple days, some do it. So anyway, we convinced the CRA to, they are right now talking to a couple of universities and colleges, Northern. And I don't know who else, about getting a price on doing a study of the seal coat and what's the best process. Cause like I said, every county's got their own way and they got the best way, so, you know, try to get a professional opinion. The annual meeting, the road commission's annual meeting is October 28th at 6 p.m. or we have another one on the 29th at 1 p.m. Whichever one is most convenient. And it's for all our board members to attend.
Is that at the county road office, or is that at the ISD, the center at Lawrence? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. It'll be probably published.
Yeah, it's usually at the ISD, but I think I heard some chatter about moving it into the big meeting room in
Okay.
the maintenance garage. So, it's not just, it's for any board members to attend. Just give you an update on what we're doing. What we've done for in your townships and any questions, we can have discussion on anything from the October 28th at 6 or October 29th at 1. Road funding. With the new state budget, we're gonna get an increase, we think, of around $4 million a year. But it's still, we are 8 million behind inflation. So. But it's gonna help anyway. But part of that funding is from a 25% tax on marijuana grows, and they're fighting that real hard, so. Who knows, the state passed the budget, but. And usually the money starts like the first year, but they don't have the software to deal with it, so the money won't start till March or so. It is what it is, and every township got mowed twice this year by our own guys, no contractor. So. That's it.
Question,
Yes, sir. Right.
You probably know, but County Road 390 and 46th Street, the intersection.
Yes, sir.
Somebody mowed that really nice, so you can see now going north. It was very dangerous at that.
Yep.
So I don't know if our guys did it or Bloomingdale did that, but whoever did it.
I
Thank you.
think the landowner did it. And I
Oh,
know the
really?
landowner did it.
Okay,
I noticed it was mowed right away, and then when they got partway to the,
east,
south, then I see the mowing went up into their yard.
Yeah,
That old
yeah.
trailer is and stuff.
yeah,
you know,
I
so
noticed, yeah.
I caught up with them and talked to them and thanked them for that. They ripped an old, woven wire fence out that had some sapling trees in it and mowed it. With it going, so
Well,
Yeah,
it was good.
it's very nice. I come to that intersection all the time. There's
Okay.
a lot of accidents on that.
Yep.
That one and the one just, a half a mile south of there,
Right.
people don't know what to do. What, when a road tees into another road, this road should have to stop. And we're not the only one, you see them everywhere. Come up and make the corner, the one comes in, you have the right away, it's like, what is this? And people, you get there and there's other cars there and they don't know what to do, and I always drive very defensively when I go through that two intersections. Yep, a lot of accidents there. Anything else?
Thanks, Dave.
Very good, thank you.
I'm scheduled to go on the 29th at 1 o'clock, and Dave Marcelletti, that's on our road committee, is coming with me that day.
Very good.
Okay. I have already turned in our road work for next year, what we're proposing.
Good. A lot of times I think what they want by December. Sometimes we don't get them from the guys until March, April.
Yeah.
If we get them early, then we know how much product to order, like how much slag for seal coating and where to put it around the county, so we're not seal coating in Porter and hauling the slag from the Bangor Drive or something. Great like that. Thank you for getting that in early.
Yep, see you then. Planning Commission?
There's a report in your packet. I'll just point out a couple of highlights. Our zoning work, our gap analysis by Williamson Works has been completed. I just got it today, but at the end of the day, I haven't had a chance to review it, but we will at our next planning commission meeting. The Parks and Recreation Committee continues to meet every 2 weeks. We're meeting next Wednesday. And the next step is each one of us is coming up with, there's 4 of us on the committee, each one of us is coming up with a draft 5-year plan, and we're just starting to put our ideas together, working towards a public event of some sort. On shipping containers, that's come up already in the meeting tonight. We, the supervisor, the zoning administrator, and myself came up with an education blurb on shipping containers, and it's on the website now. The short answer is, shipping containers mostly, unless they're very small, are regulated by our zoning ordinance as accessory buildings, and depending on how they're gonna be used and what they're gonna be used for, they do need, you do need to go through zoning. And so if you look on our website, on the home page, there's names and numbers and emails for people to contact.
The square footage on those is 600.
It varies. I wanna say, yeah, I
I
wanna
mean,
say
as far as regulation.
200, as small as 200, which those aren't regulated, and
Right.
yeah, and I think starting at 600.
The maximum square footage for a small lot is 1,200 square feet.
I think important for you.
So if
Tom,
you have like a 200 footer, you can get like 6 of them on your lot.
they can't just be plunked down, they have to be within setback areas, things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Front yard.
Correct, like an accessory building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
And, the one by me at home, front yard.
right. And then we went through the short-term rental ordinance first draft, and then supervisor and I had a second meeting, with citizens who were both for and against it. I sat through that meeting, took notes, and I've come up with a second draft. I haven't given it to anybody yet, so I'm waiting. I think I'm gonna email it to the board after the meeting tonight. I'm not sure the planning commission's gonna need, that's not clear, whether we look at it again or we just give it back to the board. Waiting for further direction from it, I guess. But the draft is done. It's not finished, by the way.
It's just a draft and it's something for them to look at and
Yeah.
comment back to us
Yeah, and
before the meeting.
it's not done, right? We're gonna go through probably a couple of drafts before we get it. This is draft number 2, and, we'll get it up.
So with him having them 3 or 4 containers there, and you find out that it's not supposed to be there, you're gonna get an endless amount of time to get rid of them, like everything else?
Tasha would have to do a notice to remove 1 or 2, whatever it takes, whatever it comes
Then
up
put
with.
them where they belong, maybe behind it.
And she has to determine the setbacks and whether they're violating that. And That would be a zoning administrator.
Still have a few years.
It's a process. I
Missed that tax, but look out.
yeah. We're only 3 months into this new
You
process.
don't pay that electric bill, cut right off.
Yeah,
And you can put anything else on there and leave it forever. Amazing.
Gary, any comments?
No, my report's in the packet. My only comment I have is I was fortunate enough to attend a webinar seminar today on short-term rentals. And, I was able to download a toolkit. It was free of charge. There's a lot of information in there that we haven't even considered yet. And, I think it'd be very helpful for the planning commission to view that. That'll be available here soon.
I was supposed to be on that webinar and, I didn't make it, but I'm gonna get the webinar delivered to my email tomorrow and
Oh,
all the
okay,
slides.
Okay,
So, yes, maybe we'll talk about it.
yeah,
Oh, thank you.
Luno or Numo or,
Yeah,
okay, very
Please.
informative.
I'm looking forward to it.
What is our stand on short-term rental?
That's in the process too. We don't actually have a formal stand on it right now. And correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, but it's in the process.
That's a fair assessment.
Just like all a numerous amount of other townships in other counties and statewide. It's a problem.
That's where we stand. Are we for or against them?
Silver Beach.
You're welcome to look at a draft ordinance and you can see where we are. If there is an ordinance, where we are in the draft and make comments if you want to. Everybody, we're looking for as much input as we can get.
Okay. I'm next after Gary. As you heard my frustration with the county. There's nothing we can do. We're getting more work and it's gonna cost us more money. But on a good note, JC, I enjoyed the open house. It was nice to meet all the firefighters. That was nice. And I just want to give a kudos to Danielle, our assessor. She met me last Sunday for 3 hours and we're trying, helping me with things. She goes above and beyond, and I think she's probably one of our best hires we've done. So I'm glad that she works hard and she does a really nice job. So, and I did have her change her report, so that's why those are off a little bit. I wanted it to match the month, not up to the meeting, and it looks great. So very pleased. That's all I have.
Okay, we're gonna move on to emergency services. Chief transition.
John and I are working together.
Anything you need from us?
John already knows everything he needs to know how to run things. It's just a matter of me getting passwords across, getting things taken care of that way. He's in the process of trying, because he's Columbia Township Fire and Emergency Services, we're tied in with the county at a lot of different levels because of who my brother and I are. I mean, we're tied in with the education, we're tied in with all of the different departments. We have people that we have trained on all departments. And so John is actually the training chair of the county. So he takes care of all the training for all the fire departments in Van Buren County. Well, that falls on the same night as this one. So he's trying to figure out a different way of getting that for a different night so he can show up to these meetings. And then Joe is filling the gap for what John needs to get done on other end of it. With that, there's two questions that the guys would like to have answered. One is, are we doing a community trick or treat, trunk or treat. That's one of the things they wanna know, so they can be out there in the community, in a couple of Fridays. And the other one is, are you guys planning on changing, any of the staffing positions after I'm gone? Like Jeremy and Joe and anybody else? Are you gonna go with the recommendation of the chief at the time, which would be Joe, John? Those are the only two things that they really wanted to know.
Anything else?
I think the trunk, I think they sat right here at Station One last time, right?
Yeah,
Right, they just wanna know if the committee's gonna do anything else with it, he's,
I haven't heard anything from the community,
alright,
but they're gonna come out. I wonder if we should put a little something in the,
that was the point, yeah,
you know,
so the guys will be sitting down there with candy at Station One, like they've been doing for my time that the last
Really?
4 years.
isn't it 5 to 7 normally? Okay.
I know that, and this is just a thought, talking about candy and things. I don't know if you approach the businesses in town to maybe donate some things. That's what we do at church at Allegan, and we have people that donate candy and.
Sure.
That
The
way-
guys typically take care of it. I say the guys, we have 5 females as well. The staff.
What day
likes
is that
to
gonna
do-
be?
Likes to do that.
30th?
for the community.
31st. It's on the 31st, right?
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, it'll be a Friday. We'll put something in the reminder. Oh. If we do that, we have to vote on it. That's something.
Get it on Facebook and the website.
Do you think Facebook and the website is enough or,
Oh, I think so.
okay, because not many young people read the,
What Grand Junction now?
yeah, it'll be on there. Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Very good.
I like my Grand Junction now.
So you have a purchase order for McQueen helmet pieces?
Yep. I put the PO
Are
through.
those what is that? This part or this part or?
The one that goes on the helmet.
It's the part that the shields that go on the helmet and it goes along with the safety mechanisms of being able to see who it is, because once you have a mask on, you have no idea who's under there.
I'll make a motion that we do that. Is that a motion with these POs, Ken?
Which I,
Is it a motion? Is it a
you
motion?
can make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve that purchase order. And I checked the budget and we have money in there, so
We got a motion to approve the purchase order for McQueen helmet pieces. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mary?
yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Ken is a yes.
Going forward from this time, would it be useful for the board if there was a non-fire department citizen who acted in the capacity of a liaison between the board and the fire department? Or is it just adding a layer of bureaucracy to the government? That was floated by some of the staff, and I was gonna bring it up, but I thought, hey, why not?
I think it would add another layer.
Don't really need another layer.
Well, I think we need to discuss that probably and see what's best for the whole organization, both sides.
Well, I think they communicate pretty well with us.
Well, I don't have an issue either way. I'm just saying, I think that should be discussed and all alternatives should be looked at, this period.
So I'm not gonna think about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
All unfinished business, short-term rentals. We probably ought to just postpone that,
based
so we'll
on.
need a motion to postpone.
We don't have enough people to vote on it.
Mhm.
Has to be
If
the
you need-
majority of the board.
I'll move to postpone them.
Gary made a motion?
I'll second it.
Now, we can have discussion.
Yep.
Okay. Based on the seminar today and the information that was really informative. I think we should postpone it to get the committee enough information, and the planning committee additional information that I never even thought of, and I'm pretty sure other people haven't either, because demographics and different for everybody. And it's really a can of worms. It really is. But you can fine tune it to your own specific areas. So I think that postponing it is a good recommendation. Especially when we don't have the whole board here to really get into it.
You want it to go back to the planning commission for some further review?
I think that'd be a good thought, because they are gonna have some other information.
Okay, we can make that happen on their agenda. Any comments there? Yes, you can't comment. Right? Oh, this is not money. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion. The land division ordinance, Laura's got some recommendations on that.
Sure, so just to update the board, the draft was sent over, I think, to address some of the issues we saw at recent meetings with the ratio not really accounting for some of the wetlands and other issues. So the idea, and nothing's going to be voted on tonight, not just because you don't have a lot of people, but it's not ready either. Was to put some process into place that would allow some variation from that 4-to-1 ratio. And the statute, the Land Division Act allows you to have a mechanism to do that. So that's fine. What I recommend, as I was looking at the draft that Ken sent over, is one, think about whether you want a cap on how big of a ratio you could go. I mean, do you want 20-to-1? I mean, or, you can max it out at 6-to-1, and I'm not suggesting there's a right or wrong answer to that, but something to give thought to. And secondly, who is going to decide that? The preliminary draft talked about the zoning board of appeals doing it as a variance. You can do that because the Land Division Act allows you to delegate that power. But what's to me, a little unusual is that it's not a zoning decision. So you'd have the zoning board of appeals operating under the Zoning Enabling Act, enforcing a police power ordinance and something that's not a zoning issue. Again, you can do it, but another thing to consider is for those quote unquote variances or variations from that requirement, even having a committee that is, for example, a member of the board, the assessor and the zoning administrator to decide those requests. And then the ordinance needs to have specific standards to be applied. So what does that committee look at? And that's likely going to be topography, is it buildable, things like that. But rather than just saying the applicant should provide this information, we need to say like these standards have to be met. Because you have to be able to give specifics when you delegate that authority to someone else. So I wanted to present that feedback, and my thought was I could put together a revised draft that does it like that. I know there's not the full board, but maybe I could get a little informal direction tonight on those things that I just talked about and what you might want to see in that draft.
When you're talking about 10-to-1 or 20-to-1 or whatever the caps,
Yeah.
could you use a percentage?
Well, the statute and the existing ordinance use a ratio.
Okay, so a ratio
it
would be
kind of
better.
makes sense.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I think if the property beyond the 4-to-1 ratio ends up with the type of use that is not feasible for farming because of a stream, a hill, wetlands, stuff like that, we really should not have any issue of letting that go back to the end of the boundary of the parent parcel. I could see that where the parent parcel may not be, might be larger than that, and it- only this parcel goes up to that stream or wetland, and then all of a sudden you have tillable land again. Well, they shouldn't be able to go beyond that wetland, with that going back that far. But I don't know what ratio that would be, because each one will be different.
Right, and this was, I think, prompted by a specific case, but we don't want to draft for one specific case. This has to be applicable on a forward-going basis for years to come. So, I mean, you don't have to put a cap in, it was just a suggestion. But you're giving discretion, or the township board could retain the authority to approve it. I mean, that's the other option. You could do a committee, or you could require those requests to come to the township board to decide.
Are there, documents out there that would help you or the board give more input on what other townships maybe have done, or what the courts have upheld, or land division act, or?
I think the statute allows you to do it, so I'm not really concerned about the court striking it down. I know we have one other client that has changed up to 5-1, so that wasn't a very large variation. I haven't done extensive research on what other townships have. You know, I can do that and present that back when I bring a revised draft and be like,
Well, let's not add to the,
not extensive research.
oh, okay. Let's not add to the
I'm
bill.
very efficient.
Well, when I looked, I found a township that basically did it on terrain and wetlands, and if it was a forestry and,
Yeah, that's kind of the standards question. There's kind of
Yeah.
the ratio question. Are you gonna have a cap? And then the standards are easy. I mean, you've kind of got the gist of them in there. It's just a matter of wording it to be, these are the actual requirements or standards that whoever is deciding, and that's the third part, I guess, is who's going to decide it.
So. The standards are easy, obviously, because of the topography and the lay of the land, right?
And that's what I would expect, yeah,
Yeah,
the standards to be.
Then why don't you pursue something like, you mentioned 5-1,
that would add 100 feet to the 4-1.
Yeah,
On a standard 100 foot.
yeah, what about 6-1? That would,
Can do 6-1. Like I said, there's no wrong or
yeah,
right
yeah.
answer.
I don't know, do we have to lock ourselves into that? Cause each case is gonna be different. If it's a 10-1, but it's all field. Like the case that we had here where the people wanted just to divide their property for 2 kids. I mean, can we have some flexibility on it?
Well, they have a wetland behind them that would take you to the boundary. The whole back can't be used, not tillable.
So that it would meet the,
That would meet the terrain.
Yeah, you
So-
can leave it open, if you want to. I always think when we're drafting ordinances, right, we're thinking not just of this case or even this board or this people, but you know, how is it going to apply 10-20 years down the road if it's still in effect? And what do you want parcels to look like in the township long-term? And do you want a lot of long skinny parcels? If that was one of the reasons the Land Division Act put that in, right, was to discourage that.
Well, it would also have to meet the building, and setbacks and everything else as far as putting buildings in and septics and
True.
everything,
So there's some natural perhaps there.
yeah. I don't know.
And you don't have to decide tonight. I can, you know, put a draft together and then you
I
can
think maybe that'd be,
write it all you.
I think that may be a start.
What are their thoughts on a committee versus?
I really don't see a problem with a 4-1 if you got the backyard that's terrain restricted that. I mean, we don't want them to end up with a 10-acre split when they, you know.
We already have 4-1. That's what,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
already have
and
that.
I'm not sure that that's a bad thing.
I'm not sure I follow you, Ken.
Well, 4-1 is a pretty large lot. Size is more than the 12,000 square feet that we require for
4-1 is
buildings.
just a ratio, right?
That's-
It could be
yeah.
any size.
Yeah,
Could be small, could be big,
but we require a 100-foot road.
but this revision was because there was the one case that didn't meet the 4-to-1.
Right.
Can we put a process in place to allow a different ratio?
Well, see, they're almost, to talk to the specifics, they have about 1,300 feet more than they're allowed. So they got a 400 and then they would have 3 more 400s to get back there, so you'd have to have a ratio of
Right,
huge,
right.
right? But I guess the terrain would take care of that, even if
Nope,
it keep 4-to-1,
Different.
yeah,
Different issue.
yeah,
Guiding line. Ratio is one issue, standards are another. They can have any train in the world. If we max it out at 6-to-1, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It can be quicksand back there. It's,
Yeah.
ratios, you know. Yeah, decide if you're gonna have that, again, I'll put something in and you guys can decide to take it out.
Yeah,
Adopt it.
yeah.
yep.
Do you have a preference on who does the decision making for this first draft? Make a committee or have the township board be the decision maker?
Township board.
We'll start there. You can always change it when we have the full board here.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that down before I forget. So that gives me some direction so I can get a draft, next meeting.
We don't need a motion on that, do we?
I don't think so.
So we're just, basically, the notes on that's gonna be that we had discussion with the township attorney to draft, a revision to the draft land division ordinance presented to her. Okay, we're gonna move on to new business. Consumers Energy is requesting an easement for the township property near Randy Lane to place a power pole with a wire support. They're in the process of generating the easement and they're supposed to have it by the end of this week. And I would think I need permission from the township board to sign that easement with Consumers Energy.
Is that the 40-acre parcel that we have
Correct.
over here?
Yeah.
Why do we have that?
Pardon?
Why do we have that? Why didn't that sell when they sold property?
Why didn't want so?
That 40-acre parcel, did we ever list that?
We never listed the 40-acre parcel due to the fact, I think it's tied to a park designated from the owner that developed the subdivision. Beckenberg subdivision.
Oh, okay,
And I'm not sure that we could sell it without it going back to the heirs.
okay.
When I was looking at selling it, I looked at that and I came up with that somehow and I can't remember how.
Okay, that makes sense. So do we need a motion to allow you to sign the easement notice?
I will need a motion that gives me the authority to sign that.
I'll make a
easement.
motion to give the supervisor permission to sign the Consumers Energy easement notice for Randy's Lane.
Will be an actual easement.
Be a what?
It'll be an actual easement, not a notice. Okay, I got a motion to give the supervisor permission to do that. Can I get a second?
So moved.
Gary made a second. That's probably a money thing, so we're gonna have to roll call. Mary,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
and Ken, yes. Let's, that'll be a motion there. Consider the newsletter to be included into the next mailing of the tax bill. We have, page 1, page 2, and Karen, you have the floor on some additions on that.
Yeah, well, actually corrections already. On page 2 in the renewable energy, where it says they expect approval in 2026 and construction to begin in 2027. They're now saying early 28. And down at the bottom where we've got no trespassing. It was originally the assessor that wanted some clarification on that. And she was thinking when there's an open permit. That it would be normal for assessor and inspectors to be able to go on a property. And I think what she runs into sometimes is not just a sign somewhere, but even a chain across the driveway.
Going past that.
And so I don't know that she is.
No.
She's done it.
No,
But probably we should take this sentence right out of here. And
what is the sentence?
right now it just says, no trespassing postings do not apply to public officials with lawful purposes.
Yeah, take that out.
Okay. All right, so that's going away.
So maybe that should say,
We
no
had that issue.
trespassing posting should be honored,
It should not.
or
say-
just,
if-
We don't have
Yeah,
to say
Be
anything.
silent on
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. no.
just because you're an inspector assessor does not mean you can start
Trespassing.
going into people's property without their consent.
Yeah, they have a posted sign.
Yeah, you have to have a posted sign.
Should
or
be,
you don't want to.
Well-
Oh,
Or a gate, you got a gate.
You can knock on the front door and ask for permission.
how do you get there?
That's it. Well, again, I'm not cross. I value my personal safety, though. I'm not crossing anybody's chain.
The renewable energy, since we didn't pass that, do we need that in there? That what their plans are?
Well,
'Cause it
I
could
think
not
a lot
happen.
of people are really curious about that, and some of them maybe have not heard that we did not pass the work ordinance. So for some people, it's gonna be a huge relief to hear that it didn't pass, but it would be unfair for them to think they're going away forever because we don't know that.
I would just say Vesper Energy will likely proceed unless we know for sure that they have.
And there's no way to know when they're going to have state approval, so
Yeah.
I don't think that you can say anything other than likely.
Yeah, yeah.
The, is it I'm forgetting the acronym now for the Michigan entity that
MPSC?
actually
And
approves
the
it.
Michigan Public Service Commission,
Okay.
MPSC.
Eagle had told me that they have a limit of 1 year to approve whatever comes in. So Vesper would definitely know within a year from applying.
They'll see, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
do we know something?
I don't know, I just know that the state is not always that efficient. There's a lot of hearings and there's interventions that can happen.
Okay.
I mean, it's not they can't just tomorrow approve it. There's steps that have to
Right.
happen. So maybe it'll be a year.
since we're on that subject, have you, your firm heard anything about the,
No,
suit that's going on, or?
no. The briefing's been done for months and months. Noticed, not knocking the Court of Appeals to anyone listening, but even in uncontroversial cases that are not like this, a real slowdown in decisions and hearings
Sure.
getting set lately. And a lot of my appellate colleagues and other firms have noticed the same thing, so I'm not sure if they have a higher volume than usual or what the deal is, but but we are anxiously awaiting. more.
It's what fits on the docket when.
Yeah, I mean, they're issuing lots of decisions every day, but perhaps they are experiencing high appeal volume.
So in our newsletter, do you think we should just say that the energy storage may apply to the state?
Yeah, because I think they have, right?
They said they did.
Yeah.
I think they have.
Yeah.
They had to go through, is it MISO first?
Well, that's
For
kind of
the
by a
power line.
parallel, yeah, process.
So they said they got a little bit hung up there.
Okay.
But yeah, they are underway. They pretty much told us that ahead of time, didn't they? That
Yes,
as
if we
soon as
didn't,
they
left, we
they
didn't
were
approve
gonna
it this
apply.
meeting,
Yeah.
they're gonna vote to stay.
Can I get a motion to include the newsletter and the tax bill with the changes to trespass and renewable energy dates?
So moved.
Gary, made the motion. Second,
I'll second it.
is there money involved in, putting this in the,
Yes.
Okay, it should be a roll call. Gary,
Yes, any cost.
Mary,
Yes.
Ken, yes. Sharon, are you making the changes or is somebody else?
Yeah, I can do it because I had it
Okay.
in the app. And then Mary, I will give the corrected one to you.
Okay.
And
I'll
you
give
get
it
it
to
to KCI or?
Okay, we're on J3, consideration to approval of a proposal from the Van Buren County Treasurer's Office. This is a mandatory upgrade for software and services for BSA Cloud, Township Treasurer. Mary, you want a little discussion on that?
So right now, the assessors and the treasurers all go to something called Citrix. It's the cloud-based BSNA with the county. And as Kurt said, they don't have funding for that anymore, so now we get to absorb the cost. So it's gonna cost us a little over 10,000 next year and then 6,000 a year after that. So we don't have a choice. I've tried everything. That's why I'm under the wire now. I had to have it to them by the 31st of October, but I've dug through old minutes, hoping I could find anything, but we have to do it. So it's gonna be more work for us and more money. We don't have a choice, so I need to send something. It'll start, we're gonna finish this tax year and it'll start for the next tax year. So they will train us in July next year, June and July. So I need permission to sign the agreement or have Ken sign the agreement. And then we have to pay for it. I'm questioning on the budget, which we can work through later, like half of it's assessing. So I don't really want it on my budget if it can be in their budget, so. I don't know how we can talk about that at the budget meeting, but. She doesn't have a choice either. So it's been very frustrating for all the local municipalities because it's a big, it's a big price. So, and the worst part is you don't feel like you have a choice, right? Like, you're gonna do it whether you like it or not, and you're gonna pay this much money, so. It's been a struggle, but
So this annual upgrade. Now the module is an annual fee.
we don't get a module. It's on the,
What's on the cloud?
they're only going to the cloud. They're gonna quit support, and this is the other thing we have to budget for. They're gonna quit supporting our general ledger and everything else shortly. They threaten within a year or so, and everything will be on the cloud.
So if it's like other things, then they'll be charging us for extra volume in the cloud.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna pay. It's gonna be expensive. Wow.
You feel
And of
like you
course,
have a gun to your
upgrades.
head?
Hmm?
You feel like you have a gun to your head?
I do, because I don't like,
And you can't control the upgrades, because if you don't get upgrades, then it doesn't work anyway, so.
Yeah.
you have to do it. One of our duties as the township is to collect taxes and to assess. And
I know.
so those are the things that we have to do. And we're gonna have to put a long-term plan in because the rest of it's coming. BSNA is a hard enough program. I just can't imagine what it's gonna be like on the cloud, but
Yeah, oh, yeah.
we'll get through it. So I need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion to approve spending $10,495 for upgrades to BSNA modules and implementation. You making that motion?
Sure, sounds good to me. And to be able to sign the agreement.
Is there any discussion on that? Can I get a second?
You don't have to do it, Gary, but you're gonna be down here with a piece of paper and a pen trying to figure it out.
I'm not the only one sitting here.
Oh, I'll second it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you and I, but
No, any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Mary?
yes.
Ken, yes. Gary?
Yes.
That was a forced vote, you know.
Well, it's not easy, but
You need anything to do all that? What do you need?
I'll print it and have you sign it. I
Okay,
just gotta get something by the 31st, so I'll do that at 4:59.
okay, we're back to public comments. Karen?
I have a question, so I don't know, I know you're not obligated to answer. The whole short-term rental thing, I totally understand why a realtor needs to abstain. But just, having rented like in the last 10 years or something, I wouldn't think, like if you had ever rented, that would be reason to abstain. And the moratorium one didn't seem like it rises to that at all.
Do you want me to speak generally to that, guys? Or,
Yeah,
okay. That's okay.
I got it.
Yeah, so it comes down to, right, if the member of the board has a financial interest in that vote, so if you are getting money from short-term rentals directly or indirectly, then a moratorium right now, that would be conflict of interest. I agree, if you're not currently and did it in the past, there would be no current financial interest, so that,
if you don't have a financial benefit,
Yeah.
then it
Yeah.
doesn't
now
apply.
each board member ultimately has to decide whether they have a conflict of interest and whether they can, separate financial or from otherwise, but
Good? Dan? You good?
Yep.
Everyone else good?
I had something, I just wanted to know the newsletter that's gonna be put out now. Is that like department heads putting stuff in there, or is it just like general things that come out of it? How does that work?
It's a township wide. And
You sent something.
you did give some information, but because it's not actually gonna go out until December, the leaf burning isn't as pertinent. But I did put in there for obtain a burn permit and never leave the fire unattended.
Very good. I just wanted to make sure that was out there for people to hear, that it's not just one person putting it together, it's department heads.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's-
Right, we asked the different departments what they might want.
And since we're sending the tax bills anyhow, it'd be nice to get a newsletter out. We're trying to reach like every bit, way people find things. There is an election, November 4th, the county library millage, and that's all that's on the thing, but we should still vote on that. So, more money. So Kara wants to make sure everybody comes and votes on November 4th. That was her added thing on the end.
Board comments?
I'm done.
Gary, you got any comments, closing?
No, thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate your input. And, we'll keep, chugging along.
I'm gonna say ditto to Gary's and, we're gonna adjourn the meeting at, 8:19.
We'll make a note along. Hour and 20 minutes.
And that's how long they should be.
Most
So
of
it must
the
be-
reports.
Sharon's been slowing us down. Little Sharon.
Oh.